You are tuned to the Indraprasth channel of Akashvani. In our English Talks chunk tonight, we bring to you a talk entitled Every Vote Matters by JNU scholar Pankaj Fanase.
With around 96 crore eligible voters, India proudly stands as the largest democracy in the world. While this enormous number determines the quantitative landscape of our country, it is the voting percentage that adds qualitative dimension to this mammoth task. That's why every single vote matters. Our heritage of elections and democracy dates back to the Vedic period. The Sabhas and Samitis of that era witnessed decisions being made by majority vote. We can confidently say that the practice of voting is embedded in our DNA. Fast forward to the modern period, India held its first election in 1952 after gaining independence. The challenge of nation building and instilling democratic values was novel. Yet, our policymakers undertook the monumental task of universal adult suffrage. In a revolutionary decision, India conferred the right to vote to women much before many Western countries. Political equality was no longer just a topic of discourse. It was brought to the doorstep of every individual. Considering the severe poverty, low literacy, and limited governance capacity, the first election became an ambitious project in determining the nation's future course. Astonishingly, India is the only country in the third world where democracy has survived continuously without major disruptions. The success of this achievement goes to us, to the citizens and voters of India. It is our belief in democracy and our large voting share over the last 70 years that has made this seemingly impossible task a reality. The nation, with its structure of governance, is just blood and flesh. It is your participation through every single vote that adds a soul to this structure and makes it living entity. We have witnessed more than 65% voter turnout in the last two general elections. Though this number looks optimistic, the greater the voter turnout, the more legitimacy the elected government enjoys. Still, spatial variation is a serious concern, especially as urban population, youth, and high-income groups are often reluctant to come out and vote. This lack of participation can skew the results and lead to policies that do not reflect the needs and desires of the entire population. The youth must understand that their votes are powerful tools for shaping the future of our country. It is crucial that we encourage all segments of society to engage in the voting process. Voting should be inclusive and smooth, with voters from all segments of society participating for the government to function effectively. Avoiding voting will lead to worse outcomes than participating and seeking change. The value of vote you possess is equivalent to the sword your forefathers wielded to change regimes. It is about preserving the legacy of freedom that our national leaders conferred upon us. Thus, it is imperative for every individual to participate in choosing the government of their choice and take part actively in the political process. To understand why every vote matters, let's take empirical examples. In 1996, during no confidence motion in Lok Sabha, a national government fell down because of one vote. In 2019 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP candidate in Ladakh constituency won by mere 36 votes. Another mesmerizing example is the 2008 State Assembly elections in Rajasthan, where Congress candidate C.P. Joshi lost by a single vote in the Nathdwara constituency. Yes, you heard it right. It was just a single vote. C.P. Joshi was then State Congress President and a chief ministerial candidate. More interestingly, it was revealed later that C.P. Joshi's mother, sister, and driver could not turn up to vote on the polling day. Now imagine the power hidden in every single vote you possess. From the government's perspective, the Election Commission is trying to reach your doorstep to make voting easy. Due to the migratory nature of jobs among Indian youth, it is often not possible to reach their hometown for voting. The Election Commission has introduced the online and hassle-free system of registering new voters and migrating current voters, which can be easily done through the National Voters Service Portal. You can collect all relevant information regarding contesting candidates, including their criminal history, by accessing the Know Your Candidate app and making an informed decision. For the first time ever, home voting facilities are available for the electors aged more than 80 years and also for persons with disabilities. To promote greater participation of women, youth and Divyangs in electoral process, special polling stations are operated by all female staff, all youth staff and all Divyang staff are set up in each assembly constituency. First-time voters and voters aged above 90 are personally felicitated by returning officers to encourage everyone to vote at events organized under the sweep program. With a voter base of 96.6 crore, per voter spending is estimated at around Rs 1400. When the government machinery is doing everything possible to ensure you can vote, isn't it our responsibility to make every single vote meaningful? To conclude, why does every vote matter? Firstly, it ensures representation by allowing you to choose leaders and policymakers who will make decisions on your behalf. It holds elected officials accountable for their actions, as your vote determines whether they remain in office or not. Secondly, voting shapes the policy direction of your country or region by supporting candidates who align with your values and priorities. It influences the laws and regulations that are enacted, impacting areas such as healthcare, education, social welfare, and more. Lastly, voting is a vital means to drive social change, contributing to the advancement of equality, civil rights, and social justice. It fosters participation, engagement, and empowerment, strengthening the democratic framework and providing citizens with a voice in shaping the future of their communities and country. The festival of world's largest democracy has already started. In the concluded 4 phases of voting, around 2/3 of voters fulfilled their duty. Now it's our turn to color the skies of democracy vividly. Let's embrace the excitement of voting. Remember, every vote matters. Your vote matters. Let's make it count.
Every vote matters. You just heard a talk by Pankaj Fanase. This talk came to you from the Indraprasth channel of Akashvani. Please stay tuned in for our next announcement.